Chip Patterson, Kenny White back in the mix, trying to help your dollars make sense. Fellas, it doesn't get a whole lot better than what we saw on Thursday. Record performance down the street from where you grew up at the most famous arena in America by a 5'8" floor general. I mean, what could be more March? But Kenny, I need you to talk me through this number today. Noel's assist prop, just 7.5 tonight. 9 is his tournament floor. 14 is the median. I am not sharp enough to play this under. What's your thought process here, Kenny?
Well, after, remember when people bet, they bet the way what they saw last. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be 90% over bets on Noel today. Obviously, everyone's going to bet over in this prop. I'm not interested in laying $1.70 plus on a prop like this because you know what? Noel can make great passes, and the guys don't have to knock the shots down. They knocked the shots down in the last couple of games. You look back, though, at his season median against top 100 competition, the assist number is 8. So it's right there. He's supposed to go over, but barely. And again, after that type of performance, I'm really not interested in laying that type of price. So 6 of the last 7 games have gone over, but there's a couple things. The ankle, is he 100%? Is he going to be able to battle through this or not? So I'm going to lean to the under here. I made a small play plus $1.13, but it's not a play that I really love. But again, he can't control his players making those shots or not.
I am not interested in getting on the other side of Marquis Noel in Madison Square Garden doing anything. Marquis Noel's going to get out there like Red Panda and start flipping bowls. I'm taking the over. He's going to be great at it. Marquis Noel is going to get out there, and he's going to all of a sudden start, performing surgery. Here you go, doctor. Here's your scalpel. Like, I just believe that we are dealing with something that is truly special. A player who, we always talk about that he came from New York City. What about the fact that he wasn't recruited at a major conference level, that he started his career at Little Rock, and then he goes to Kansas State, then his coach gets fired, and he's one of 2 players, just 2, in Kansas State's rotation that were actually on last year's team. I just think that we are dealing with all of the intangibles. We are dealing with everything that is emotional, everything that the sharps and the number people say you should not follow. So, hey, look, maybe this gets bet up and you don't have to lay the 167, but I am not going to be jumping on the other side of Marquis Noel. I'll go over here. Kenny mentioned the average for him is about 8. You mentioned how great he's been in the tournament. And it's also just, to me, emblematic of the New York City point guard. Because when you think about the New York City guard, when you think about New York City basketball, sometimes it's not the dunks, it's the passes. It's the, ooh, like those moments are really, really special. And I think Noel's going to keep it rolling.
It is Starberry and Kenny Anderson and the Pearl for sure. All right, let's move it on to the other side. Kansas State's Kiante Johnson averaging nearly 18 a game. He put up 22 in that win over Michigan State, yet he's just 2 for 10 from 3. So it kind of feels like there's some points still out there on the floor for him, but his total today is 16.5, Kenny. Which way are you leaning?
Well, 16.5 is kind of a little different from what I had last night. It was 17.5 last night, so if it came down a half, his season median is 17. He's gone under 17.5 4 of the last 6 games. And I really like this Florida Atlantic defense. I like the way they're playing. Kansas State wants to get up and down. I don't think Florida Atlantic is going to allow that. They're going to get back in transition defense. They have the athletes to play defense against Kansas State here. So I was leaning to the under 17.5, but at 16.5, I'm probably going to pass.
Yeah, I am also going to go under here. And the game that stands out to me about Kiante Johnson and sort of what he needs to be for this team, Kansas State does not need Kiante Johnson to go out there and put 24 points on the board, because it is in the Kentucky game in the second round where he was not playing very well. He was not filling up the stat sheet. But what they do need from Kiante Johnson is just to hit the right shot at the right time. He knocks down that 3-pointer at a crucial point in the second half. I think that Kiante Johnson knows, and Kansas State knows, that his role is not necessarily as the volume scorer, but rather as someone who needs to step up in those crucial possessions. I'm with Kenny here. I go slight under on what does seem like a very, very good number for Johnson's points.
All right, that's where they stand on that one. Elsewhere, FAU spread the love against Tennessee in that win. John L. Davis did lead the way with 15, but there wasn't really a breakout performance in that one. Chip, where do your eyes go when we talk player prop on the Owls side?
I'm going to go to a lower point total because this is a team that is impossible to figure out player props. That's what you get when FAU has like an 8-9 man rotation. They're doing hockey style line change substitutions. The minutes are spread out. The points are spread out. The stats are spread out. And so I'm going to go for a high variance play because freshman guard Nick Boyd is a chucker. He doesn't hit at an extremely high percentage, but he gets out there and he's been given a green light to get 6, 7, 8 3-point attempts up per game. And so I'm going to go with the freshman guard, Nick Boyd, points over, because if he's going to go out there and get, 6, 7, 8 attempts from behind the arc per game, I really only need maybe 2 of them, and certainly 3 would help to get me there. So a high variance play on a very deep rotation, looking for a lower point total on the odds board, where if a couple of these threes that I know are going to be taken, if they fall, we should be looking pretty.
This was a tough team to really find some good props on. I thought the book did a good job of all of their players. I went with the rebounding prop, Vladislav Goldin. I'm going to go over 6.5 rebounds. 7'1", 240-pound kid from Russia. Just a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, started his career at Texas Tech. With Chris Beard. He's gone over this number for the last 4 games against top 100 competition. He's the big guy. He's the rim protector. He's the big rebounder. So I'm going to go over 6.5 rebounds.
And one thing Florida Atlantic's done, maybe the prop bets are hard to pick, but as a team, they win better than anyone in the country. They got more wins than anyone. Let's get to some best bets for this East Region final. Kansas State -2. That's the line. Total's 144. Chip, pick the game, pick a prop, pick whatever you're feeling best about what's about to go down. What you got?
Kansas State's going to win. All right, I'll lay the 2. Maybe you want to do the money line to give yourself a little insurance. But let us not forget that if the officials award Memphis with a timeout, FAU ain't here. And I just don't think that there's a lot fluky about what Kansas State has done. At every single level of the NCAA tournament, Kansas State has been the better team. There has been nothing unusual. They have just simply outclassed and outplayed every single opponent, most recently in an absolute Sweet 16 epic against Michigan State. Now, Jerome Tang's group rises to the challenge in part because of the message and the chemistry that Jerome Tang has put within this group, a group that, as we mentioned earlier, had just 2 rotation players who were part of the squad last year. I'm not going to bet against that buy-in. I think Kansas State wins this game, so I'll lay the short number.
Well, as I went under with Marquis Noel's assists, I'm going to go over in his points. 17.5 points today. His season median is 20 points per game. He's gone over this 3 of the last 4. Even though he's putting up 19 assists, he still had 20 points the last game. I think he's going to have to take the ball a little bit more to the basket today. I really like what I see out of this young kid. He is tremendous, fun to watch. But as I couldn't lay the big price over on assists, I can definitely go over 17.5 points with him today. I think he has a monster game scoring, and I think he gets 6 or 7 assists along the way.
All right, recapping the picks, Chip and Kenny, they are split on Marquis Noel's assist total. They agree, though, that Kiante Johnson will be held under his tournament average and, most importantly, his total, although both say that's a slight under. Chip's taking Kansas State and giving the points.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.